Hello and welcome everyone. It is time to enter the Kumite. Remember, this is not a sport. You don't play fight. Paddy Pimblett gets it done in the O2 Arena once again. He and Molly McCann actually both got finishes again. These two always seem to show up when they're on their home turf. I will say that Pimblett did have a tough start. Levitt decided to utilize his wrestling in that first round, and it was working for him. He was forcing Pimblett to defend, and it gave him a hard time getting anything going for himself. I will say that Pimblett was fitting in some elbows while Levitt was trying to secure the single leg, and anytime he would relieve his head pressure. He also got really close to a guillotine a couple of times due to Levitt's lack of head pressure. He was keeping his neck a little out there against a really strong BJJ practitioner such as Paddy Pimblett. I will say, though, that Jordan Levitt is a jiu-jitsu ace. I am surprised by how physically strong Jordan Levitt was, though. With his stature, he doesn't look like he's someone who's that powerful. Levitt did get a couple of takedowns, one of which was quite a good slam, but Paddy did a good job at getting his leg over the shoulder of Levitt to threaten with a strong guillotine and relieve the pressure of the slam. Coming into round two, Levitt came out with a lot of front kicks to the body to try to keep Paddy's boxing pressure at range. Paddy landed some nice shots once he found the way around the kicks with the blitz of his. But let's take a closer look at the finish. Jordan Levitt gets back to his control of having Paddy defending against the cage, and Paddy reaches over the top and wraps up the head and arm choke. He actually threatened enough with this choke for Levitt to fight the lock with both hands, and I guess he wasn't aware of the fact that he wasn't a downed opponent for a moment, just long enough for Paddy to readjust his feet and land this beautiful knee to the head right on the temple. This shot drops Levitt to his knees. From there, Paddy swings over to the back of Levitt and grabs wrist control over the right wrist of Levitt. Then he actually uses that moment of wrist control to keep that arm in place while he locks up a body triangle. Now he has Levitt's arm trapped inside of his body triangle. Levitt reaches for the foot of Paddy to try to break that lock, but Paddy locks both of his arms underneath Levitt's grip of the foot and rolls into it, and then Paddy stretches out to make separation even further, isolate that arm. It was all over from here as Levitt can no longer 2-on-1 the rear naked choke and pull that top hand down. After getting the finish, Paddy gets a nice little teabag, just like Modern Warfare 2. Props to Levitt for not taking this one too personally. He's a good sport and a very kind and intelligent human being. Maybe too nice to be fighting someone as crazy as Paddy Pimblett. I know Paddy said that he was disappointed in his performance again, but he was up against some real competition in Jordan Levitt. And I was extremely impressed by what he managed to do out there. I mean, to tap out a specialist like Levitt is great for the resume. I will also say that I scored him to win that first round. That's just how I scored the fight. I don't really score someone having someone else against the cage unless there's nothing else to go off of. But Paddy landed a couple of big shots, a few elbows. He also threatened 2 solid submissions that almost led to the end of the fight. Levitt did get a couple of good takedowns in, and he did have some control. And he had Paddy on the defense for the most part of the round, but he didn't really do much with it. He didn't do enough for me to really want to score him to win that round. But I could see how someone would score it that way. Paddy said we'd see him again before the end of the year. I'm not sure who he plans on fighting or if he's just waiting for an offer. I'm taking a look at the top 15 of the lightweights, and I don't know who I'd realistically match him up with. I don't think he can land a fight with Tony Ferguson or Beneil Dariush, but I don't know who else that he might beat at the moment. So let's give him another fight outside of the top 15, please. Let's build him up slowly and really bank on his star power for later fights. I love Paddy, but he is in the most stacked division. Not just in the UFC, but every organization and out of all of their weight divisions, the UFC lightweight division is the most stacked. It's incredible how much talent they have in that division.